Hey Deckers, version 2.11 of Cyberpunk 2077 launched with some more performance improvements, and I'm happy to say that it has made a significant improvement on the Steam Deck. I know that 2.0 crippled it somewhat, 2.1 made small improvements, but 2.11 is definitely a bit better. Going back to the Fidelity FX Super Resolution Quality mode, we'll see that this is running a little bit smoother. We're not getting so much spikes as we did before. This does mean with this performance update that we can actually now put it back to XESS. If we look at the XESS 1.2 on balanced versus that quality mode, you'll see that we are still getting a little bit better quality overall with the XESS balance and a little bit better frames per second as well. Now that's going to be a little by the by. But one of the big things that you'll notice is the reason why I don't use FSR quite a lot of the time is because we do get some of that weird behavior with some of the mesh, and also it's just a lot clearer on XESS overall. So comparing the FSR2 balance mode from 2.1, as we weren't able to run XESS 1.2 previously because of the performance hit, you can see that we are actually now getting similar performance, but with also a lot less frame time spikes. So it's much smoother on 2.11. Now, it wasn't quite the same area, but it was still on the edge of the city, on the outside world. As you can see here, as we're driving around Dogtown on 2.11, we are still getting significant load spikes, especially the first time in. It really does take a fair amount of time to render and cache that area. So the very first time I did a quick loop around the Dogtown section here, it really was a little bit laggy, and you see that we're struggling even to hold that 30 frames per second down the back straight here. Versus on 2.1, after we'd been in and out of Dogtown a couple of times, although it is still dipping down into that 30 range, it is a little bit more stable, and we do go up to the 40 occasionally. But this really changes with the dynamic resolution for FSR when we go into battles. So although it does stabilize, it definitely was still a bit problematic previously. But on 2.1 in battles, things really became very fuzzy, and a lot of the time you couldn't really see or make out any of the detail, just fire in the general direction and hope for the best with all those effects. Because of that pixelation of FSR2 balance, it really wasn't a fantastic experience, and just look at how flickery the trees are there on FSR. But now in 2.11, keeping that XESS balanced with much more going on, we are sticking above that 30 a bit more stably. The frame time is not all over the place, and when we do get those explosions and other effects, it's not completely blinding and a pixelated mess. So definitely an improvement on version 2.11. So let us know what settings that you're running here, as we started off with the Steam Deck preset and just switched it over to XESS 1.2 balance to get this version. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.